Imagine this. An elevator door slowly slides open, and there he is, Jimin, one of the most private members of BTS, suddenly caught off guard, smiling with that familiar warmth. In front of him, holding the camera, is actress Song Da-eun. He laughs, a little shy, and says, "Oh, that's a surprise. Did you know I was coming in? I didn't tell you on purpose." It was a lighthearted moment, just seconds long, but it was enough to set the internet on fire. This wasn't the first time Jimin and Song Da-eun's names had been linked. Their story actually began years ago. Back in 2022, fans started noticing curious hints. Song Da-eun once posted photos of BTS merchandise, like a t-shirt and even earphones with Jimin and Da-eun engraved on them. She uploaded, then deleted, cryptic posts. Sometimes it felt like she was teasing, other times like she was defending herself. And all of it only fueled speculation that the two were closer than anyone imagined. Fast forward to after Jimin's military enlistment, and suddenly, Song Da-eun is back in the headlines. The video of Jimin stepping out of that elevator, surprised but smiling, looks so intimate, so real. People started asking, are they dating? Are they living together? The interior of the apartment in the video even seemed to match Jimin's known residence. For fans, the details were impossible to ignore. But then, on August 31st, Big Hit Music finally broke their silence. For years, they had stayed quiet, letting rumors rise and fade, never interfering. This time, though, they had no choice. The speculation was everywhere, false rumors spreading faster than the truth. And so, in an official statement, the company admitted something that fans had only guessed at. Yes, Jimin and Song Da-eun once had good feelings for each other. They were close. They even dated. But it was years ago. And today, they are not together. The statement was careful, almost protective. Big Hit explained they hadn't spoken up before because they respected Jimin's privacy, and Song Da-eun's as well. But now, with her facing waves of malicious comments and Jimin dragged into constant headlines, they needed to set the record straight. They begged the public, stop speculating, stop spreading harm. Because behind the headlines, there are two real people. Two people who once shared a part of their lives, but who have already moved on. Insiders added another detail. Most of the videos and photos Song Da-eun posted recently weren't new at all. They were filmed years ago, back when she and Jimin were still close, before his enlistment, before the spotlight made every little gesture a scandal. Which means that elevator moment, the laughter, the surprise, wasn't a secret meeting in 2025. It was just a memory, released into the world at the wrong time. And yet, questions remain. Why share those videos now? Was it nostalgia, a quiet message to Jimin, or simply a misunderstanding, a fragment of the past brought into the present? Nobody knows, and maybe nobody ever will. What we do know is this: Jimin is human. Like anyone else, he has the right to love, to date, to break up, to move on. But unlike anyone else, every smile, every silence, every rumor becomes global news. The world doesn't always allow him to be just Park Jimin. And perhaps that's the saddest part. The elevator door opened that day, and instead of a simple private moment, it became the spark for yet another storm. But now the truth has finally been spoken. Their past was real, their present is separate, and their future, that belongs only to them.